A quick preamble before we begin. This next video is a Christmas gift for my roommate Nathan. He's great to watch films with and has generally made my job a lot easier by drawing attention to ideas and concepts I wouldn't have even thought of. Love you, Nate. Happy holidays. Amending Fences, a particularly memorable Season 5 episode of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, has an immediately engaging premise. Twilight Sparkle, now the Princess of Friendship, was once a pretty bad friend herself, and those memories resurface when this irony is brought to attention by her assistant Spike. Twilight doesn't take it very well. After all, not only was she neglectful of her old friends, but she up and abandoned them when she moved to her current residence. She didn't even offer them a goodbye. This starts a massive downward spiral, fueled primarily by the Purple Princess's ego, as she tries desperately to reconcile with those she'd left behind. Spike repeatedly informs her that she's overreacting, that her incredible guilt is unwarranted and potentially detrimental. After all, most of her old pals seem slightly disappointed, but they're doing just fine in life. That's because, of course, Twilight was not the center of their universe. They had their own things going on, and while they're glad to see her back, it's not like they were traumatized by her absence. Or most of them weren't traumatized, at least. Moondancer in particular seemed to grow more and more miserable, morose, and emotionally distant after Twilight's departure. Twilight, naturally, with all her incredible ego, assumes this must be her fault. She assumes that whatever is hurting Moondancer must have been caused by her. This paints an unflattering picture of the princess, to say the least. Rather than listen to reason or show genuine curiosity for Moondancer's condition, she continues to bask in her own ego and self-hatred, pestering the depressive pony ceaselessly. This episode is clearly building to a conclusion here. Twilight needs to accept that she's not the main character, that although her actions do indeed influence the world around her, she is not the deciding factor in the happiness of others or their reason for being. They're perfectly capable of engaging in fulfilling hobbies and careers without her interference, and if they are hurting, it's probably for more complex reasons than her desertion. Except, in a completely baffling turn of events, Twilight's right? The reason Moondancer is hurting is because Twilight left. It doesn't matter that she had other support, other friends, other things in her future to look forward to. Apparently, Twilight missing one particular party caused Moondancer's vicious spiral into depression and misanthropy. Misequinity? Anyway, the point is that the episode takes a hard left and not only tries to justify Twilight's obsessive, egotistical savior complex, but accidentally makes Moondancer out to be pretty unstable and petty herself. In short, it's unhealthy psychologically. This isn't a good lesson to teach. It dramatizes and overblows genuine trauma to an irresponsible degree and encourages a selfish outlook on the pain of others. That's not to say the episode on the whole is bad. There's plenty of engaging dialogue, unique tones, and genuinely introspective scenes characteristic of the show's best episodes. But if they wanted Twilight to be the reason Moondancer broke down, they needed to spend more time building to that conclusion from a sympathetic perspective, and less time focusing on Twilight's disgustingly obvious confirmation bias. This is a weird one, for sure.